Hey everybody, Brian the writer here. So I want to first off just apologize because this is sort of off the cuff. Not really much planning gone into this. One of the things I want to talk about is the COVID-19 thing. We're all sort of stuck in our own houses. We're stuck in our own little worlds right now, apartments. But I came across an article that I thought was particularly interesting. It was an article that was published in Space Daily of all things. And I mean, I look at a lot of different things during the course of the day for different reasons. And one of the things I came across was an astronaut's tips for living in space or anywhere. And I thought it was cool, but I thought I had some really interesting stuff in here. First of all, if you think about it, astronauts are essentially sitting inside of a confined space for long periods of time. Sound familiar? And so I figured it's apropos of our situation, right? One of the things they say is it's important to communicate. You really need to be able to talk clearly so that you're understood. Listen and question when you don't necessarily understand. I think that's some great stuff. Pick up on verbal cues. Discuss and then work to resolve conflict. It can be hard when you're stuck in a house with a bunch of kids and wives and your husband and stuff, and there's really nowhere you can go. So I think that's great advice. I also the skill number 2 that they talked about is leadership and also followership as well. Being able to adapt to situations as a team. When you're stuck in a house with a bunch of people, you're a team. You have to work together to get things done. If not, you're not going to complete your goals, and you're going to end up having civil war in the center of your house. So it's important to do things like adapt to certain situations. The leader enhances the group's ability, not really pushes them towards a goal. Assign tasks, set goals, give direction if you're a leader. But more importantly, if you're not necessarily the leader, be a good follower. There's my dog in the back. You really need to be able to fit in the situation where you are at that moment, realizing that you may not always be in the lead and you may not always be a follower. So I thought that was good advice. Self-care. I've said this before. Get out, walk around. Don't forget to eat right. Don't forget to do the things you need to do. I have actually, in my living room, I have been doing some exercises. There are some great resources on YouTube that you can use that have short 30-minute exercise routines. Helps to keep things going, breaks up the monotony of being stuck inside of the house. So that's really important. But almost as important as self-care is team care. Make sure you're checking in with each other. Make sure if you've got a neighbor across the street, you're checking in, at least telephonically with them. Don't go over and knock on the door. But you need to make sure that everybody in your community is okay. Check on your introverts. Make sure they're okay too. Actually, the introverts are okay. It's the extroverts that have the problem right now. Team care. Team care is very important. Group living. Is the 5th skill that they list on here. Group living skills are how people cooperate and become a team to achieve a goal. So you have to identify and manage the different opinions, cultures, and perceptions that are within your family unit. You need to demonstrate your resilience. When things get tough, when you're tired, believe it or not, you can get tired sitting around on your butt all day long. It's kind of exhausting when you don't have anything to do. I fill my time with reading, writing, and video games. Today I actually baked bread just because I thought bread would go good with dinner, but it's something different. Break up that monotony. Include people in what you're doing. Respect the different roles that are within your little family group or your group if you're stuck in with a group of people that aren't necessarily your relations. Do what you've got to do to get through this, but realize that sometimes your role may be just to step back and let things happen. And my own personal advice, if everything is really grating on you, step back, take a deep breath, count to 10. Everything will be fine. We'll get to the end of this together, and then everything can go back to normal, but that's a point in the future. Anyway, hope you're doing well, hope you're safe, hope you're healthy, and thank you very much for watching. And I promise I will get back to writing-related videos soon. I actually have a concept. I'm kind of working up the notes now. I want to do a little thing on... I'm currently reading my way through H.P. Lovecraft. So I've got some comments that I've taken down on a sheet of paper. Why you humble reader, especially those of you who like horror, should look at Lovecraft sort of with a different lens. And I think there's a lot of meat left on the Lovecraft bone, if you will. Call of Cthulhu was not the only thing he wrote, and that's really the point of the next video that I'm going to come up with. Okay, as the cool kids say, ta-ta for now. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you later.